Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the poem Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda. Keeping quiet is actually to highlight the importance of introspection. Yes, through this poem, the poet has tried to highlight the importance of introspecting one's own self. What is the importance of knowing one's own self? But before we get into the in-depth meaning of the poem, let us give it a reading. Now we will all count to 12 and we will all keep quiet. Keep still, sorry. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment. Without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, war with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping ourselves moving, our lives moving, and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead, the latter proves to be alive. Now, I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. This poem, Keeping Quiet, as I had already mentioned, is all about introspecting our own selves, our deeds, our actions. The poet wants us to understand the importance of silence, understand the importance of remaining quiet. Because that is the time when we can think about our own self, we can introspect about our own actions and deeds, we can judge ourselves how and what we have done, how good or how bad we have performed in any of the things that we've done in our life. So we start with the poem here first. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. The poet has used the number 12 over here. Can you imagine what is the significance of the number 12? Why has the poet not used any other number but the number 12? The number 12 here indicates the 12 months of the year, the 12 hours of the clock. So the poet actually wants us to keep this introspection on for all the time. He doesn't mean that he will count 12 and we'll only think for a short time span and again get back to our normal lives. He wants us to keep on introspecting, keep on judging ourselves throughout the year, throughout the clock. He wants us to keep on judging ourselves so that we become better people. It is then said over here, for once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. The poet has used the word language over here because he wants to highlight that there are so many barriers which is differentiating, which is keeping ourselves far from each other. Language is one of them. Along with language, caste, creed, our cultures, races, geographical boundaries, there are so many reasons why we are different, from why we are far from each other, why we discriminate each other. We are so much unfriendly to each other. The reason behind this is that, so he wants us not to talk in any language. That means he wants us not to discriminate each other based on any kind of difference. He wants us to be one when we think and when we introspect each other. It is then said, let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. He doesn't want us to move our arms so much. He doesn't want us to have any kind of activity, so that we can concentrate on our thinking and we can decide about our actions. He then says, it would be an exotic moment, without rush, without engines. He says that moment will be a very, very exotic, of course strange, but a very special moment, because there will be no rush. At present, we are all rushing in our lives. So he says we don't need to have this rush in our lives. when we come to 12, we can introspect each other without any rush, without any engines. We can all simply relax and decide and think about our actions. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. The environment will be surely strange, but then we will all be together in that strangeness. We'll all be one in that strangeness. He then says, fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. These four lines indicate about nature and man. It is said in the first two lines that the fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. Using the example of whales, the poet wants to say that man should not harm nature. No fisherman would harm the whales, no man would harm nature. At the same time, he says in the next two lines that, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Here the poet wants to say that you and I are so busy in our lives that we don't even have time to see the wounds that we are giving to ourselves. Therefore, the poet says that the man would also stop. He will also look at his own wounds. The person who is gathering salt would look at his own wounds. And everybody, all of us, will see what harm we are creating to the nature and what harm we are creating to ourselves. This quietness, this sadness, this silence will help us to get that done. To realize about the importance of not harming and not hurting each other. And to understand how much hurt, how much harm we have created to the nature and to ourselves. The next paragraph talks about the wars. It is said, those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, all those who are creating wars, chemical wars, any kind of wars, pollution is being created. Those all should try to understand that there will be victory. Of course, maybe the kind of war they are waging, they may get victory in that, but with no survivors. There will not be anybody to enjoy the victory. Nobody is going to survive to enjoy the victory. This kind of war is going to harm, hurt, destroy every single creature on this earth. The nature is being harmed badly. Therefore, all those who are waging such wars, wars with the environment, wars through pollution, wars through chemicals, wars through gases, they have to understand that even if somebody is victorious, even the victory they get, there will be nobody to enjoy that victory. Therefore, put on clean clothes. All those who are preparing these wars, they will be able to introspect on their actions. Then they would remove the clothes on which the stains of blood stains of humanity is there. They would remove the clothes and would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. All of us are brothers and sisters. So we need to understand that and walk like brothers in the shade and doing nothing. You're doing nothing again means doing no harm to each other. The next paragraph, poet has made it very clear. He doesn't mean not doing anything. He says not harming. He says what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. The poet says do not confuse my saying of keeping quiet with total inactivity. He doesn't want you to become inactive completely. He wants you to act. He wants you to work. He wants you to do your work. He wants you to do whatever you want to do. But before that, think whether you are going to harm somebody or not. If you're not harming anybody, if your deeds are all full of patience and you are thinking about everybody when you're acting, you may act. You're not told to become completely inactive. He says that he wants no truck with death. Life is what it is all about. It is all about working. It is all about movement. We are all born for some or the other thing. We need to fulfill our, duties. But there at the same time, the writer says, I want no truck with death. I don't want any kind of problems created. If we were not so single-minded, the writer says that human beings are single-minded. How are we single-minded? We only keep on thinking, how can I keep moving? How can I keep myself growing? How can I keep myself in a better condition than the other? A lot of competition, isn't it? Therefore, the writer says over here that if we were not so single-minded about keeping ourselves moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. We are all sad, we are all unhappy because we are very, very about our growth, and every day we are thinking about this growth. Whatever we are having, we are not satisfied with that. We want more and more and more. Therefore, we are unhappy. So the poet says that for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves. We are not able to understand ourselves, our own selves, and we are also threatening ourselves with it. Every day we are threatening ourselves. Every day we are telling ourselves that there is some or the other problem which is going to harm us, which is going to hurt us. So once when we remain quiet, we will be able to understand that this is something which is only some illusion, not the reality. And then the writer says, perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead, the latter proves to be alive. So the writer says clearly that we can learn this lesson from earth. Under the earth somewhere there can be a seed buried, a seed which looks lifeless, a seed which has, which is dry, but as soon as it gets the atmosphere and whatever is the whatever he needs to grow, the seed needs to grow. From the seed comes out a small plant, and that small plant grows into a huge tree. So that small dry seed also has life in it. Somewhere buried under the earth, when the proper atmosphere is provided, life comes out. So we must learn that from the earth, that life is there everywhere and there is always possibilities, and we are surely going to live happily even if we don't hurt each other. So for survival, the condition is not hurting each other. For survival, the condition is to try and understand the importance of all that what we have around us. Nature, Mother Earth has provided us with so many things, and everything plays a very important role in our life. For our existence, we need all. So instead of harming others, instead of man bossing the environment, man needs to understand that we need to be one. One with nature, one with every individual over here on the earth. Therefore, the writer says in the end, now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So the writer ends the poem with the message that he will be counting till 12, and our introspections, our self-judgment should keep on going. It should not stop. We must keep on thinking about our deeds and actions and try to improve ourselves every day. If you actually want to compete with somebody, compete with yourself. Every day you can compete with yourself and become a better individual instead of competing with somebody else. If you compete with anybody else, you may be a better individual than that person. But what about the actual competitor? Your actual competitor is within you. Compete with yourself, challenge yourself, and do better. Try to understand that we all need to be healers of the Mother Earth. We should not be destructive. We should not create destruction. Now locked up in our houses, this is what we need to realize. We have got ample time to introspect about ourselves, judge ourselves, think about what your deeds and actions have been in past and how can you improve yourself. Instead of comparing with anybody else, compare yourself. Compare you as a person with your own, capacities. How much capacity do you have? Work with that. All the best to all of you for a healthy and a happy introspection of yourself and a very, very happy growth. All the best to all of you. Go through the poem properly. There will be notes which will be coming along and some more extra exercises and all. If you have any doubts, you're free to contact me when you want. By the time, keep home, keep safe. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.